The weekly code quiz. What is padding? Padding specifies the space between the content of an element and its border. What is margin? Margin specifies the gap between the border and the border of another element. Increasing margin widens the gap between elements. What are the possible units of measurement for the value? The value can be in pixels or percentages. The values for each side of the box are written in a particular format so you know which value corresponds to which side of the box. What is this format? The values are written out in a format where you specify the top margin or padding first and then work clockwise. So top, right, bottom, and left. For example, we have added borders around our elements so it is easier to see the margin and padding being changed. Now you can see that there is space between the border and the content and the border and the adjacent element. What if the padding or margin are the same on opposing sides? If the top and the bottom margin or padding are the same and the left and the right margin or padding are the same, you can shorten the declaration so that the first is the top and bottom and the second is the right and left. Even though the code has changed, there is no change visually because the browser still shows 10 pixels of margin and padding at the top and the bottom and 5 pixels of margin and padding to the left and right. This shows the code we have reviewed again. We have HTML at the top and the two options of CSS that we reviewed below. Are padding or margin inherited by child elements? Neither padding nor margin is inherited by child elements. When determining the overall width and height of an element, how do we account for the values for the border, margin, and padding? If you specify a width or height for a box, then the borders, margin, and padding are added to its width and height. How do you center an element? We also use the margin to center an element as well by setting the left margin and the right margin to auto. A box can be centered on a page or within its containing element. One must specify the width of the box, and the auto value will make the browser put an equal gap on each side of the box. In our final code example, we see that we have limited the width of the box to 800 pixels. The browser will automatically calculate the space needed on each side to center the content. Presented by Designers Learn Code.